Look everyone, I got a box of top loaders. And you thought being a store is all about getting first edition. Well, what is up everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. So glad you're here, so glad you've made it. Today we're gonna talk about Tales of Aria first edition. We're gonna talk about pre-orders and what's going on with the world. The reason this video came to mind is that Mitch and George sent me a photo of Channel Fireball selling out, or it said sold out of pre-orders at $269.99, and we were like, what the heck? And then when I went to make the video, they've actually reduced it back down. It was $169 or something like that. So I think it was just a typo in the $269. Anyway, the point being, it was like, wow, what are pre-orders gonna be? Because I really thought we were gonna see MSRP boxes for Tales. Channel Fireball was really like the first store to really put up their pre-orders, and I thought we were going to see it start off lower than that. It didn't, but when I saw $269, I was like, what are you doing? And I was really mad. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are you doing? Because I'm not buying $270 boxes, that's for sure. Like, what are we doing paying that much money? Have we not learned from Monarch? But then, you know, of course, it like was down to 169, 170, whatever. And so like, I definitely still think this is a good conversation to have. Not the what are you doing, but like the conversation of what are we going to be paying for Tales? And so here's what I'm going to say. Do not buy Tales of Aria over $200 a box. Now, why do I use that number? Well, let's start off this way. What I've said and what I said for Monarch and what I'm going to say for Tales is that you should start your pre-orders early, but don't put all your cards in one basket. Don't go to some store that says, oh yeah, we can get you want 2,000 boxes, we can get you 2,000 boxes. Don't go to some store that says, you want 100 boxes for $110? Yeah, give me $110 per box, I'll give you $100. Stores do not have their allocations yet. Open your ear holes right now. Listen to this. Just because Channel Fireball is doing pre-orders does not mean that the rest of the stores know what's going on yet. They are ahead of the game. It is what it is. That's the way it is. They're ahead of the game. The rest of the stores are going to be backed up a little bit. So don't just trust any stores, but put a case here, a case there. Spread your pre-orders out at as many different places as you can find. And now, why the $200 price point? Well, if you, first off, yes, PvE is going to be in Tales of Aria. And so you should spend $1 million on Tales of Aria. Okay, we don't actually know that PvE is going to be in Tales of Aria, but PvE is going to be in Tales of Aria, and so it's worth $1 billion. But no, it's not really $1 billion. Okay, here's the thing. Tales of Aria is going to have 3 printers. And what this, I think, means, and I think what the majority of people would say the percentages would kind of land here, is that we're going to see a lot more Tales of Aria than Monarch was. We're going to see a ton more Tales of Aria than Monarch, and even more than that, we're going to see way more than like Crucible. I think Monarch and Crucible, personally, I think they're going to be kind of similar when we hear the print numbers for Monarch. I think Tales is going to be next level. I think Tales is going to be next league. If you look at how many boxes of Unlimited our community is getting right now, Tales is going to be next level. We have 3 printers. It's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. So I think right now where Monarch's at 250 to 280 after kind of the decline, we're going to not see over $200 boxes once release comes out. I really believe that. Some people have been throwing around the number 300. I think the number of boxes is going to be crazy. Hopefully they get the numbers to allocation. Now also keep in mind, like the time between Crucible and Monarch was much, much longer than the time between Monarch and today. It's just much longer. So like, I hope stores will have their allocations sooner. And the pre-order season for Monarch was really long, whereas this pre-order season is not going to be that long. Like, what are we? We're almost in August, and the set comes out soon. So now I want to talk, if you're still watching here, I want to talk a little bit about the caveat to this, the opposite side of this. And that is there's one concern that I have, and like that concern is that at Vegas, I was talking to somebody else about this, at Vegas, you're not going to need Tails cards. Tails is not legal at Vegas. There's a pre-release party. It's going to be great. But to my understanding, the other 3 callings, Tails is going to be legal at. And so this is where this gets interesting because, like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do something, but, like, you're going to need the cards to play in those other 3 calling events. And so what does that mean for Tails, especially with the rumor, and rumor has it that Unlimited's not going to be out for 70 days, 75 days, which I actually think is great. I think one of the things that happened with Monarch, tons and tons of resellers, tons of people who weren't playing the game, weren't in our community, were buying boxes, and that drove the price up. And I think what's going to happen with Tails, I think you as a player will be able to get your 10 to 20 boxes. I don't think you're going to have a hard time doing that. I really don't. I don't think that most of the resellers will come back for Tails. I just don't see it. I don't see why somebody would come back after probably losing their butt with Monarch First Edition. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think there is a caveat where it's like, what are the singles going to do for for Tails First Edition? But I don't think that it's going to affect the pre-orders of the boxes, and that's the key here. We don't know enough about Tails before the release of Tails to jack the prices up, especially like jack the singles up. Now, singles prices could start seeing some increases, but hopefully you get your boxes and then you don't need to buy a ton of singles to get the cards you need to play at your calling events. So I think it's a good balance. I think we're on the right track. I love the 75-day window. It gives First Edition a chance to like get into the market, and it gives it a chance to grow maybe a little bit. It gives it a chance, for us to see the valuable cards. I don't love that for Monarch, the First Edition, the Unlimited, like the Majestics are like the same price. Like that's not a great look if you are. I don't know. That's just not a great look to sell First Edition, right? Like as a pro for First Edition. So I do like the idea that it's like 75 days, as long as, again, and here's a key, as long as there's enough boxes and enough cards for the players to play the game. And like, that's what I'm saying. I think with a print run that could be like 3 times the size, or like a massive print run, maybe 3 times the size is too much, but I think with a massive print run much bigger than Monarch, I think you can do it. Like I think that there's plenty of cards at that rate to get players the cards they need for that 75 days, and then all of a sudden, prices start going up, and then then Tails Unlimited comes out, and you have some flex room. So I don't know. That's my gut. That's what I think is going to happen. I do think I kind of joked. I threw in a little joke there about PvE. I do think we see something interesting in here. You have Rudy teasing like some sort of big event that's going to happen, and maybe that's the calling. I know it's probably the calling. Maybe it's, but I think Tails has something to it. I think the name Tales of Aria really fits for some sort of like additional supplementary thing. I'm also very much harping. It's something that I very, very much believe that the game needs. And so like, I'm definitely seeing through rose-colored glasses there. But I do think if they announce something like that and it's in the product, I think it will have implications. Now, what I hope is that they announce a supplemental product to Tails that is in addition to the booster box. So, you see this in MetaZoo, right? Like MetaZoo has the booster box, but then they have like 18, they have the spell kit, they have like 18 other things. You see it in Magic the Gathering. You have the booster box, but then you have like the fat pack or whatever they're called now. Anyway. And like, I think like Flesh and Blood could use something like that, right? Where it's like a supplementary product to the set, and like PvE could be that. So I really think we're going to see something. I don't know anything, but anyway, that being said, I would say pre-order yourself, like give yourself some time, spread out your pre-orders. Channel Fireball is obviously safe. Try to get on the Team Covenant subscription. Man, I wish that LSS would do some more subscription model stuff with people other than Team Covenant. Like, I think that's a huge win. I think that's a huge win for the community to be able to kind of guarantee yourself some boxes. I think it's a huge win for Team Covenant. Like, they know how many boxes they're going to get. It's a huge win for LSS because because players are getting boxes at the $90 MSRP, and they can kind of handle with Team Covenant and work through that. I really think that LSS could lean into some more stores or people in the community and kind of lock them into this kind of idea of a subscription model. I think that's a great one. I hope that Team Covenant opens up some more slots. Be on the lookout for that, because I really think it's happened. They've mentioned it a couple times on their stream, and that is by far, I think, the safest and best way to get your boxes. So hope you guys have a great day. Remember, be kind to the people around you, and please, for the love of everything, just don't go crazy. Don't go crazy with Tails. Give yourself a break. Remember, this is a card game. Things are going to happen. Things are happening that are going to happen in the future, that happened in the past. You're going to see a huge spike, and then the set's going to release. All the cards are going to come out at the same time, and it's going to drive the prices down. So like, there's got to be a middle ground there. If we do like the $250 thing, maybe they don't crash down so hard. And you know, I think that there is something about Vegas and the other calling events, but I don't think that it's going to be a huge issue. Again, because I think the pro run's going to be so big. Anyway, hope you have a great day. Remember, be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again later. I don't know, today, tomorrow, whatever.